Welcome to the TDC Today Show USA. We are so happy to be here on this gorgeous Saturday. It is amazing outside. We've had a crazy day already. We will get into that later. Before we do all that, I'm going to bring Emily in to introduce our wonderful guest today, because we are here with the TDC Today Show USA with Kurt Roskoff as our ambassador. He will be joining us probably on section number 2 or episode number 2 that we're doing today. We'll get into that later. There's been a lot happening, a lot of fun, excitement going on, and craziness in our little corner of the world here in a good way. So, but before we go any further, we've got some great guests joining us today, and to introduce them, I'm going to introduce you to Miss Emily Gollmer. Over to you.
Hey, our first of 2 guests. We met through the Happy Neighborhood Project. Marianne of Waikiki, or Marianne Ambrose, who is an author, app developer, sign language interpreter, among other things. So let me bring Mary Ann in here to say a little bit about what she does and who she is, that kind of thing. Marianne, why don't you take it away?
Well, thank you, Emily, Sue, and Kurt Roskoff for the Today Show here and the sponsors behind it, Lauren Swingate and the Disability Channel and World of Ability happening later today. So, I met everybody through Happy Neighborhood Projects in Hawaii. I was a co-host, and I became the HNP sign language interpreter for the HNP Ability Group. And I'm the author of the Acts of Kindness series. My books are written for animation movies with sign language characters, which is 200 folk Manus puppets. And my books are written for animation movies with sign language characters, with soundtrack by Lucy Lynch and The Perfect Wave. And a lot of waterworks is happening right now in the month of July here. The Transpac sailboat race is happening in Honolulu, Hawaii, Hawaii Yacht Club, and Waikiki Yacht Club. And that kind of stemmed how my first book started. It's called Underwater Acts of Kindness. Because in 1999, Captain Moore, a sailor in the Transpac, was sailing, and he recognized this big garbage patch between Hawaii and California, this big soupy mess of plastics and goop and just affecting our ecosystems and marine lives. And well, guess what? It was showing up around my sailboat, and wanted to know where this all started and where is this coming and why. And so I met my co-writer, Suzanne Sims, at Unity Church of Hawaii, and Lucy Lynch was a senior at Unity Church of Hawaii, and Mr. Scott, my deaf friend too, also went to the Unity Church of Hawaii. So we came up with these ideas for the Acts of Kindness series, and we've written the books. And Underwater Acts of Kindness is the first book, featuring Noah, the hard-of-hearing whale, who tackles the Great Pacific Garbage Patch because he's recruited by a sea turtle called the General of the New Earth Army. And what kind of life is he going to have? And we want to know, where do we go? Where are we from? What are we doing? And how are we going to live in this sustainable world that we have? And it's a great story. It was originally written for the Animal Planet TV show Tank Guys in Las Vegas. So the octopus is King Octo the Eighth, who teaches the signs of peace, love, happiness, and thanks. We have Dr. Fingers, the finger-spelling hermit crab that rehabilitates Noah, the hard-of-hearing whale, and learns the finger-spelling alphabet, the ASL, 26 letters of the alphabet. We have Flip and Flop that are service alpha dolphins. We have Shaka, the sign language shark, who's very sharp at reading sign language skills. And it's just a great story. And again, a lot of people are out boating, so everybody be safe and be happy. Down here in San Carlos, we have the Billfish tournament. We're going to be heading down to that this afternoon to go on the boardwalk and people watch. And it's over 90, 95 degrees here, so we'll be staying inside in air conditioning. And it's just a great opportunity to see the different cultures down here, especially with the opportunities that I had to actually sail with my book signing tours. So the second book is called Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully. That features Harry the Hardy Hearing Rabbit with a sign language chicken named Chelsea, the courageous sign language chicken, and Eve, the finger spelling bumblebee. And during the pandemic, I was funded to create app games. So I have 11 app games. So you would read the chapters of the book. You can visit our website that's being uploaded by Trevor Gibbs, a Charity Revolution out of Orlando, with the videos. Everything is still up in development right now, but that will lead you to the links to the Apple games. I wrote a short book called Pono, the Hawaiian Polo Pony, with a deaf rider. And it's also polo season back in Hawaii and lots of activities. So again, through my journeys around the islands of Oahu and the Big Island and sailing book signing tours, I'm leaving these books as a legacy for the people of the world to come out and be aware of what's going on, especially our youth. And my friend Marilyn Rogers, a special ed teacher in Kamaile Charter School, introduced me to an organization called Donors Choose. And she sat down and it took about 10 minutes for her to request the books for ocean cleanup, pollution, anti-bullying, and sign language skills. And within 2 weeks, she was funded. And the classroom received the books and they read the chapters. And I was a guest speaker to go out and speak and bring the puppets and teach the ASL sign language. And it's a great story for all ages of the heart. And then it shows your acts of kindness of what you can do. When you're out and about, if you're sitting at a bus stop, look around and find a garbage, pick up 10 pieces of garbage or plastic anywhere in the parks, the beaches. Just everybody has to do their part now. And again, these are good stories and messages, acts of kindness. All classroom teachers in the United States of America. So 30,000 schools, 3,000 deafblind schools that teachers can apply and get these books and puppets and actually other items too off of Amazon and Walmart and a la carte to supply their classrooms. We're getting ready for back to school season time to request these books, and then I would be available for Zoom. And again, you can go visit the Apple Store, the Acts of Kindness series, and test your skills with the ASL alphabet and the signing puppets. So thank you so much for having me here. I want to share the floor with your other guests here, Emily, and I'll let you take it away. So again, thank you so much.
So our other guest, I believe we met through Marianne, but he's a part of the Clean Water Foundation. And is out on the West Coast and has done a lot with the Water Foundation. Leon. So Leon McLaughlin, want to come in here and say a little bit about who you are, what you do, and any updates on the foundation?
Yes. Thank you, Emily. And I'm really happy to be on the show. Yes, I met Mariana when we were in Hawaii, and we talked about what she was doing with the acts of kindness, along with what we're doing with clean water for children around the world. And she actually created a character called Water Flow for us. And we'll be promoting that character. I'm actually at an event today and tomorrow. And we started the event yesterday at a ranch in Woodinville, Washington. If anybody's in Washington and want to come to the event, we got great music. Food is free to the public. We just ask for a donation. And it's clean water for children for the Hopi and Navajo Reservation in Gambia. And it's a 3-day event. Today's event starts at 3:00. It'll go till 8. We got an unbelievable music lineup. We have a Cirque du Soleil performer doing a ground show. We have great artists singing throughout the day, games. We have Dick's Burgers, who's like the McDonald's out here in the Northwest, who's sponsoring us with the burgers. We got beer that was donated. water, all kind of refreshments. So it's going to be a fun event, and it's for water for the Hopi and Navajo children. As you know, the Hopi in Arizona had an issue with water because of the mining companies that was out there. So they basically polluted the water with the uranium mining companies and the other mining companies and contaminated the water. So we're now putting water units in the homes and schools on the Hopi and Navajo reservation in Arizona. And this is what this fundraiser is for, and the one that we're having in Sedona, Arizona, September the 16th, in Sedona, Arizona. So yeah, we'll be talking about water flow, which is Mariana's character, along with some of the water units that we're installing on the Hopi and Navajo reservation. And we're actually going to have the leaders of the Hopi and Navajo reservation come to our event in September. So I'll keep you updated. But today's event, we started yesterday, super successful. We're having an event today and then Sunday. So things are going really well on that. If anybody want to donate or volunteer, one water unit for $150 is able to provide 50 people with clean, fresh drinking water on the reservation and in Africa for $150. That water unit lasts for like 30 years, and you change the filters after 10,000 gallons of water has been used. And our website is www.cleanwaterfoundationwa.org if anybody would like to donate or volunteer. And we're looking for musicians, we're looking for technical people, any and everybody. What the Hopi tribe is promoting right now, and I talked to the leaders, is a thing called failure to communicate. And they want us all to communicate to say, hey, we have a right to have clean, fresh drinking water, and we should not have our water contaminated. So their new theme that they want us to tell the public, because they are the protectors of the earth, and what they do is pray for all of us. So we have to protect the protectors. Their new theme is failure to communicate. Let's let everybody know they have a right to have clean, fresh drinking water. And it's the same thing in Africa, but not as bad as the Hopi and Navajo reservation. They do have contaminated water in Gambia, but it's through the lakes and the rivers where the cows is in the water, the people's in the water, everybody is in that lake or river. So they have that contamination, which is not as bad as the Hopi contamination of water, where they have arsenic, uranium, and a lot of other contaminants and viruses in the water. And it's almost like what Mariana had just said about the sailboat with all that plastic, and that's really polluting the water, but it's not as bad, which is bad, don't get me wrong, because you're killing the environment and you got polluted water. And we have special filters that can clean that kind of water up, like she was saying, the garbage that's in the water. But imagine having uranium, arsenic, and a lot of other contaminants in the water. So if anybody want to come to the event today, like I said, it's a free event. We got a great musical lineup. We got the Cirque du Soleil. And if you want to donate, www.cleanwaterfoundationwa.org. Thank you so very much, Emily, for having me on this show. And if you can send me a link, if I get it today or tomorrow, I can share it at the event that we're having. And I'll also share it at our Sedona event that we're having in September. So thank you very much for having me on the show.
You're very welcome. We can get you a link there tomorrow. That's perfectly doable.
Yeah, it is amazing to me that this is an issue that the locations within the United States are needing to deal with contamination of their water source like this. That actually blows my mind. We're like the richest country in the world here, and we can't have clean water for our residents, and we have to go through these extraordinary measures to make that happen. I mean, thank goodness, Leon, that you're doing what you're doing, and that you're getting the word out about this, and that the fundraisers are happening, that you have this amazing event in place, and that you're able to make a difference like this. It just absolutely breaks my heart to think that there are people that are, this is what they're facing on a daily basis. This is their world, and yeah, they need what you're doing. So I can't say thank you enough, Leon, for all that you and your organization are doing for these amazing people.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, because imagine they're in Arizona and we're Americans helping Americans, and they have homes with no running water. Sometimes they got to go 4 hours round trip to get water. And if you're a senior, you can't, you don't have no vehicle. That's 4 hours driving. So 2 hours to get the water, 2 hours to get home. Gas is high as a kite. They're living on these reservations. If you're a senior, you don't have any way to do it and you have to walk. And you have homes with no running water. That's why we developed the unit that we can gravity feed to go in those homes with no running water. And the reason that they had COVID is worse is everybody else, even though that's a small community compared to the rest of America, because they didn't have no water to wash their hands. So that's why when you read about how the reservations caught COVID worse than everybody else, but they're like the smallest of the whole America kind of thing, it was because they didn't have water to wash their hands. That's the reason why.
That's amazing. Wow.
That's
It's one of those things that until somebody tells you that, you don't know. And it's right under our noses. It's happening in literally our backyards here. And that, wow. So actually, can you tell us more about what the filter units are like? What is it that gets installed exactly? How does that all work?
Yeah, so what we did, we developed a special filter with the tribe that actually takes out viruses and contaminants. So it's all in the filter. So we developed this unit with the manufacturers, and they was like, okay, normally this unit would cost $600. We feel for what you're doing, we're going to let you get this unit for $150, the manufacturers. We did it during COVID because all those guys was like scientists and they were at home. So they was like, normally we wouldn't even have time a day to talk to you for 2 seconds because we're traveling all over the world doing this water filters and creating these water units. But by COVID, we were able to do these Zoom calls, get the tribe on the call, and we took a water sample on the reservation, and they found out that they had this arsenic 3, arsenic 5, uranium in the water because of the mining companies that was there, and they were using their aquifers. And what happened is that the mining companies took 50 billion gallons of water from their aquifer. Now imagine you live in a desert. So the leaders, I mean, like you said, it was mind blowing when the leaders was telling me this. So they said, imagine you live in a desert. We're desert farmers. It take 1 million years to get 50 billion gallons of water in this aquifer because we live in the desert. They took the 50 billion gallons of water out of our aquifers in 40 years, the mining companies, and then contaminated the water. So the leaders was like, do you know how much 50 billion gallons of water is? I was like, no, I don't. They were like, you could take a 55-gallon drum and put water in that 55-gallon drum, and 50 billion gallons is enough to go to the moon 4 times and back. Is that mind-boggling or what? And so they said, we want you to spread the word on our situation. So that's when I was like, well, I'm all in. And this is totally amazing. And they were like, the new theme is failure to communicate. And it reminded me of the Cool Hand Luke movie.
I love it.
And I was like, oh my God, when they said our new theme is failure to communicate, because we want to let the world know that we have a right to have clean drinking water. We want the religious organizations to know, we want the public to know that we have a right to have clean water, that it's a human right. And the water that a lot of those mining companies, they piped in and took their water so they could have power in Nevada and LA to have cheap power. So they put a pipeline together. So they wanted to stop that along with the uranium companies that was taking their water also. So that's how the whole thing was. We want you to tell the world because we pray for mankind. And I forgot all about using even the word mankind. I say, wow, that's a word I haven't heard in a long time, mankind. So they say, we want you to tell mankind to stop taking our water and polluting our water so we can save the earth. Because the rate we're going to destroy the earth, and it'll be mankind doing it. I was like, now this is some pretty heavy stuff. So that's what we're talking about on the event today, yesterday, and tomorrow. This event we're having, and also we're bringing the leaders in Sedona to talk more about this. But yeah, for $150, we have units that would go into the homes with no running water, and then they'll get the water and gravity feed with these units with this special filter that takes out viruses and contaminants and work like a UV. We also have solar units there on the reservation also that we're working with. So we're going in all the homes on the Hopi and Navajo reservation, the school teachers' homes and the schools, installing these units at could go with homes with no running water and the homes with running water, because even the homes with running water, the water is contaminated.
It's mind-blowing, like what you're saying. I am amazed that these issues are taking place right here in the United States. And I'm so grateful for you bringing this to everybody's attention and doing all the amazing things you're doing. Give one more plug again here for the event going on this weekend. Where is it, and how would people go and participate?
Yes, it's a free event, and we got an unbelievable lineup. We had the volunteers from Cirque du Soleil come. They're going to do a ground show. It's a ranch in Woodinville, Washington, and it starts at 3:00. And we actually having an event there tomorrow also at the ranch in Woodinville. And anybody can come, free event. And it's going to be amazing. We got great artists that volunteered their time, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. If you want the address is 14006 160th Avenue Northeast, Woodinville, Washington. We got Dick's Burgers, that's like a McDonald's, is sponsoring it for us with the burgers. We got the beer, huge ranch. Come out and meet Dixie the horse. We got the donkeys. We're having a blast at this ranch. And it's for the Hopi and Navajo Reservation and also Gambia.
Awesome.
And if they want to contact me, they can go to www.cleanwaterfoundationwa.org.
Perfect.
But it's going to be a fun event, and it's today and tomorrow, and beautiful. Tomorrow's event is from 1 to 3. Today's is like from 3 to 8. So yeah, come on out, join us if you're in the area. You're going to have a blast, and we're going to be talking about the situation with the Hopi and Navajo and Gambia. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Leon. We appreciate all the insights and updates here, and looking forward to hearing in the next couple of weeks here, how did the weekend go, and how many families, how many people are you impacting in the end here with how much more clean water is going to be able to be provided for all these wonderful people. So thank you so much, Leon. Marianne, as always, thank you so much for being here. We're going to wrap up this episode. We actually have another episode coming up right around the corner here, so hang tight. Again, thank you so much, everyone. We are here with the TDC Today Show USA. My name is Sue Roskoff. Thanks again, Emily Gomer, for joining us and all you do for us here. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.